Mid-American Conference Football Media Day continues. Bowling Green Falcons head coach Scott Loeffler, coach, third year as the head coach. Last year, a little different because of just COVID and how that went. When you look at where you are heading into this year, have you seen the building blocks that you wanted to see?
Yeah, night and day. It's interesting that you asked me that question yesterday whenever we went out for our workouts. We're a totally different team. The mentality's different. They like each other, they trust each other, and we've done a really good job recruiting. Our staff has done a great job of bringing great people into our program. The problem right now is we're super young, like beyond young, and we look back at the pandemic year, and as miserable as that was, we treat it like it was a blessing in disguise. We were able to play a ton of freshmen and be able for them to understand about how difficult it really is to play college football without size, without strength, without experience. And when we get this thing turned the right way, we're going to look back and be extremely thankful for a very difficult situation in our country.
You know, it's kind of interesting. You're mentioning young, and there's a lot of guys that have, multiple fifth-year seniors, and that's got to be a challenge that you got to deal with and you got to meet.
Yeah, there's no question about it, and we're relying on guys like Sam Neveroff and Jordan Anderson, who you're going to talk to. They normally a freshman looks at 25 seniors and goes, "Okay, that's how I'm supposed to do it. That's exactly." And right now they're listening to coaches. So we're a coach-driven team right now. And it's not because the players want it to be a coach-driven team, it's just because of how much youth we do have in the program. So the few seniors and the few older guys that we have, they're really essential to our team to teach these younger guys of how we do business. So we're halfway through the business plan. We knew whenever we walked into it what we were going to do, and we're going to get there. And just like I said, when we do, it's going to be unbelievably rewarding.
What areas, if I was going to say, boy, this group is going to kind of take off a little bit quicker than maybe even you thought, what area do you think would help kind of this year be more successful and move you up the chain quicker?
Yeah, the philosophy when we came, and it doesn't matter if you're at the Big Ten or the SEC, the area that takes the longest to develop and wholesale change is the guys up front. And in recruiting, if you look at who we've recruited, it's been big guy, big guy, big guy. And the philosophy was in year one and year two, we knew what was going to occur with the season. It was getting as many big guys as we can, develop them, and then the skill guys can catch up. So we need to make sure that we go and get some speed and some guys that can score. But we had to handle the guys up front, so we should see. As young as our offensive line is, as young as our defensive front is, you should see improvement. And just like I said, thank goodness for the COVID year, because they got to experience that, and it was no harm, no foul.
How excited are you to have fans, the band,
oh my
cheerleaders?
Gosh. I don't think it doesn't matter to the coaches, but my goodness gracious, as a player, that's what college football is all about, the band, the fans, the build-up. And I'm excited for every single college football player, not just our players, but across the board, college football in general, to have that opportunity. You only get 12 shots. You work your tail off, and if you really do the math, you're only playing on one side of the ball about 35 minutes a year. When it's all said and done, if you really take 8 seconds by the times the amount of plays that you play, that's not a lot of time, and for those guys to be able to play in front of a crowd, I think is going to be great.
So before I let you go, Tennessee and Minnesota among your non-conference schedule, how excited and how do you view those games? I mean, those are pretty good teams.
It's great. Knoxville on a Thursday night coming after a pandemic. We're going to work on crowd noise, I can promise you that. A lot of our young football players will have the biggest, largest eyes known to man for the first 5 snaps, and then they'll get into it and realize it's just football. But that coaching staff that they just hired down there is great. They're gonna flip it. They're really good. I've worked with a couple of them, and they've got the right formula. And then PJ at Minnesota's done a fantastic job. He was in the MAC. He's did a great job with Western Michigan, and they've got a good formula too. So we're just copycatting those formulas and getting us back to our standards and expectations that we have at Bowling Green.
Scott Loeffler, head coach of the Bowling Green
Thank you
Falcons.
so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much.
We're going to step aside. On the other side of the break, we'll hear from a couple of the Falcons as we continue from Mid-American Conference Football Media Day, Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
We continue with MAC Football Media Day from Ford Field. A couple of Bowling Green Falcons offensive linemen, Sam Neveroff, and defensive back, Jordan Anderson. And guys, Coach alluded to this. We'll start with you, Sam. Young team, very young team. How do you approach that?
It kind of creates the kind of ability to form, your own culture, and with, so little few guys from the old staff and everything, and the coach is talking about this new culture, and kind of allows these young guys to come in and buy into what we're trying to do at Bowling Green.
I ask you the same question, Jordan.
Well, really, with us being so young, it's kind of hard, like he said, to like how you usually come in, you see the seniors, and that's the way you're supposed to do it. We're just trying to build a culture as of right now, and I feel like we're doing a good job of that as we speak, with going through a full winter and a full spring. I feel like it's coming along, and the guys are all like buying into the standard now. So now we can have a culture and an image and an idea of what everything's supposed to look like.
So you're a defensive back. Tell me about that defensive unit. What do you guys want to be? What do the Falcons want to be on the defensive side of the ball when everything's going right?
We want to be aggressive, smart, fast, and physical. And I think our defensive coordinator approach, he preaches that, run to the ball at all times, do our assignments well. It's all about team football. So as everybody doing, all 11 positions playing the right assignment, we're all going to be great. And I feel like we can do that with the pieces that we have, just with the D lineman, linebacker, and the secondary. I feel like we're all coming together. So when we're all on the right page and the right accord, it can be right. It can be great.
Sam, offensive line is young. What do you guys say to each other? What's the message in that group? Because you're going to have to do some things well for the Falcons to be successful.
Just trying to, a few of the guys, a few of the younger guys, they've been in a rotation last year, which is nice because, they kind of get those first couple of game jitters out of the way, and, kind of get a feel for how it's going to be. And, just trying to play fast and, physical is basically our name of the game.
It's third year for Coach Loeffler. Do you guys kind of understand where the program is, where it's going, based on being in it for a couple years now?
Yeah, coming in, trying to deal with, we don't know them, they don't know us, and then, finally kind of starting to understand each other and understand what we're trying to do and whatnot. So hopefully this year goes a lot better.
Let me ask you this. So Jordan, there's some opportunities there. You play Minnesota, you play Tennessee. How do you guys view that? I mean, you're a young team, but you're going and playing in some really hostile environments.
Right. We just view it as opportunity, honestly. If we can do good in those big games against those Power 5 teams, that can put an image out there and a word, a buzz that, BG is back and they're coming to play. So I feel like that's the most thing we go into is opportunity and see what we can do. Everybody said they wants to be the best, you got to play the best. So really, that's our opportunity to show it right then and there.
Now, Sam, I know you guys are young. How confident are you that you guys can go up a step or two?
I'm pretty confident, with the coaches helping us out and everything, and then kind of the few older guys that we have, they're really kind of stepping into the roles of being leaders and trying to push everyone along, and the team's starting to mesh more and more and kind of create that chemistry.
Sam Neveroff and Jordan Anderson, as always, appreciate the time. Best of luck to the Bowling Green Falcons in 2021. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks very much.
Thank you.